Thank you, Scott. It's now my sincere pleasure to introduce this year's keynote speaker, Dr. Jody Lulich. Dr. Lulich co-leads, I know you can hardly wait. I feel the same way. Dr. Jody Lulich co-leads the Minnesota UroList Center. He specializes in nephrology and urology and has earned his international reputation as a clinical investigator and educator in this field, and has published more than 400 publications in scientific journals and books. He has received numerous awards for his teaching, and in 2022, he was inducted into the university's Academy for Excellence in Clinical Practice. In Dr. Lulich's memoir, In the Company of Grace, a veterinarian's memoir of trauma and healing, published in 2023, readers and critics alike have lauded its raw honesty and emotional depth. Dr. Lulich's storytelling and vulnerability have struck a chord with readers, making his memoir a compelling and impactful exploration of his veterinary career path. Please welcome the 2024 College of Veterinary Medicine commencement speaker, Dr. Jody Lulich.
Dean Mogard and esteemed guests, thank you for this opportunity, and please forgive my informality. It just had to come off. To the class of 2024, my words of wisdom: compassion knows no boundaries. It only requires us to step aside of ourselves long enough to embrace another. To illustrate that principle, I want to share 3 stories: the story of the stone, the story of the starfish, and the story of the snake. The stone. Geodes are one of nature's wonders. You've probably heard the phrase, "Don't judge a book by the cover." This is especially true for geodes. On the outside, a geode looks like any other rock that you may see out in the world. However, if you crack it open, its inner beauty is unmistakable. This geode was found on the coast of Morocco and is filled with glistening crystals of amethyst. What is the connection between geodes and veterinary medicine? What a geode looks like on the inside depends upon the environmental conditions on the outside, the temperature, the pH, and the minerals it collects. On the outside, a new veterinarian may look like fear, anxiety, and a lack of courage. As one of your teachers, I can tell you that the knowledge and skills that you obtained in your didactic classes and the wisdom and compassion that you acquired in clinics, that on the inside, you are filled with patience, intelligence, compassion, and tenderness. I hope that never changes. But if it does, remember that unlike geodes, your inner appearance is not etched in stone. You can choose to make a positive adjustment. Remember that the animals that you treat and the clients that you serve also have an inner beauty. On the inside, they too may look like fear, anxiety, and a lack of courage. They are often frustrated and confused because their pet is sick. Be patient and take the time to know them, to look beyond their outward appearance in order to see them at their best. Story number 2. I'm going to get this out of your way because it's a heavy rock. On the eastern shores of the Pacific Ocean, a storm approaches. In the distance, lightning strikes the water with uncontrollable fury. As the night progresses, so does the rain and the wind. The storm gathers momentum, violently churning the waters. The next morning, as the sun rises and the clouds retreat, there is a feeling of calm. That is until, I'm going to need Kathy Carlson's help here. She's going to stand up. That is until onlookers notice that the storm has plucked all the starfish out of the sea, stranding them on the shore. You can lay that down for me, Kathy. So those are all your starfish. All who see the devastation shake their heads in sorrow, except a little boy who loves the sea and all the creatures in it. He runs to the shore, and he begins throwing starfish back into the water. So he throws them back in the water. So those are the starfish. In fact, he works tirelessly until he hears a voice from behind him say,
"What are you doing, little boy?"
"If I do not return the starfish to the water, they will die."
"But there are thousands and thousands of stranded starfish. Do you really believe that you will make a difference in the lives of all these starfish?"
The little boy holds up a starfish and says, "But it will make a difference for this one," and tosses it in the water. Others on the shore hear the conversation and see the boy's determination and are moved by his compassion. They call their friends, and their friends call more friends, and when they hear the story of the little boy and the starfish, the whole town comes to help. Before the tide rolls out, and before the sun sets, and before the night falls, all of the starfish are returned to the ocean. For those of you who know me or read my book, you know that I'm a starfish too. After my mother committed suicide and my father abandoned me, someone thought that I was worth saving, regardless of the odds. Number 3, the snake. In Southeast Asia, on the base of a tall mountain, there's a tiny menagerie of animals in a small zoo. In the distance, the light, the sky rumbles and the winds shift, and dry lightning strikes the ground, setting a bush on fire. The fire spreads quickly, surrounding the zoo. The zookeepers fear that the animals will perish. They open the gates and call for the animals to run. With the steep mountain in back and the fire in front, one by one the animals brave the danger. The gazelles jump over the fire. The foxes and rabbits race through the fire. But the snake cowers in fear. He cannot jump and moves too slowly to escape without harm. A zookeeper sees the snake and jumps past the fire to save it. He lifts the snake to carry it to safety. However, when the zookeeper grabs the snake, it bites him hard in the hand. Ouch! The zookeeper lets go of the snake, and the snake falls back behind the flames. The zookeeper doesn't know what to do. Then he finds a tree branch on the ground. He grabs the branch and pushes it under the snake, and the snake coils around it. And the zookeeper lifts the branch with the snake and carries it to safety. Seeing what just happened, the other zookeeper is puzzled.
"Why did you risk your life to save the snake?" "Why did you risk your life to save the snake, even after it bit you?"
The zookeeper replies, "It is the nature of the snake to bite. It is my nature to care for the animals." The message is clear. Do not let the actions of others dictate your own. However, while it is noble to offer assistance, it is equally important to protect yourself from harm. Why would I tell you these stories? I tell you these stories because at times you will be surrounded by skeptics. They will tell you what you can't accomplish and what you shouldn't try. Listen with your head and your heart, and not to the fears and limitations of others. I tell you these stories because as you get older, you will lose that spark, that sense of adventure and limitless opportunity that you had as a child. As we get older, we have a tendency to become hardened by rules, protocols, bureaucracy, and our past failures. Remember, it took a little boy throwing starfish back into the sea to show the adults the possibility of life. hold on to that childhood spark and reimagine the possibilities and adventures on your way to helping others. I tell you these stories because you will be put in difficult situations, situations that will put you in harm's way. Remember the story of the snake, and remember that you also embody the wisdom of self-preservation. Do not give up your kind nature. You may be the only one with the skills and desire to save that life. Do not let the possibility of harm curtail your compassion. Instead, let your compassion drive your ingenuity to navigate a safe path to helping others. I tell you these stories because as you walk through life, you will meet others who do not look like you or talk like you or for some reason you do not approve of. I had a client who looked like she didn't have any money, no clean clothes, and no facilities to bathe. She wanted the best for her sick dog. She brought her dog to me and said,
Dr. Lulich, I love my dog. Do whatever it takes. I will pay whatever it costs.
At first, I was skeptical. Luckily, I looked beyond her appearance and worked diligently to help regardless of what I thought that she would be willing to pay. Her dog recovered. And to my surprise, she paid her bill in cash. Remember the story of the geode? This client had an inner beauty and deep compassion and a high sense of financial responsibility that I had a difficult time seeing. We will not find another's beauty if we only look at the surface. This client would rather forgo the comforts of life than forgo the companionship of her dog. I tell you these stories because I care about you and the profession and your happiness and your growth. You probably thought that I was only bringing wisdom, but I'm also bringing gifts. To remind you, from meager beginnings can come immense possibilities. I have an autographed copy of my book for each of you. This gift was made possible through the generosity of an anonymous donor. So I don't know who donated all that, but I'm happy they did. At the end of graduation, as you exit up the aisle, pick up your copy from a faculty member. My second gift. I made all the graduates, the class of 2024, members of the Starfish Society. If you look at the back of your program, you will see the emblem denoting this great honor. I've extended this membership to your parents, spouses, children, friends, teachers, and anyone else who helped you along the way. For my third gift, no starfish were harmed during my presentation. In fact, the starfish tossed over the stage are dog toys. If you have a dog, or even if you don't, pick one up on your way out. In parting, I am humbled to have been your teacher and to have been part of your journey. I am honored to see you reach this important milestone in your education and career, and I am hopeful that because of your inner beauty to guide you, that geode in your heart, because you are a starfish thrower with the compassion to help others, regardless of the odds, and because, like the wise zookeeper, you will not let the fears and actions of others rob you of your willingness to help while caring for yourself. Because of these attributes that you now possess, I know that tomorrow will be great because you will make it so. Congratulations and good luck to the class of 2024.